Hello, everybody. How are you doing? We're live for episode 16 of the Stadia Source Roundtable podcast.
Not bad, not bad. How are you?
I'm brilliant. Duncan, how are you?
I am outstanding.
As always. And Adam, back again with us. It's been a while.
Yeah. I'm standing out. Pretty good.
Great. So, we've got a couple of big things to talk about today. Obviously, the June Pro games that you guys spoke about earlier, but we're obviously going to get some other people's opinions as well on that. But first of all, I'd also like to welcome a new member of the team as well. If you've been paying attention to our website and our Twitter, you'll know him as Lee, and aka Sea Troot.
Hello, good evening.
So he's decided to jump into one of our podcasts today and just see how it goes. So everyone give him a big warm welcome in the chat. And it's good to have you with us, Lee.
Thank you very much. It's really good to be on here and be on board with you guys. Awesome. Really appreciate it.
So we're truly representing quite a wide range of Britain here, aren't we? We've got someone from Scotland, from Ireland. Oh, what?
You know what his stance is on that.
Northern Ireland, then.
Northern Ireland.
It's still Ireland.
So it's absolutely happy to have you with us today, Lee. So I think we'll start off with what we usually do, and that is what we've been playing on Stadia this week. So, Lee, if you'd like to take the lead on this one.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That's what I've been really into at the moment. I think I'm approaching about 30 hours played in it, and it's got me hooked. I just absolutely love it.
Gearing up for Valhalla.
Yeah, I mean, I got it on Stadia when Stadia first launched, but I sort of went off it a little bit in December time, and the Valhalla announcement came, and that got me back on it, and I'm really glad it did, because I'm just addicted to it at the moment. I just want to keep going and go on, and I want to do one more mission, just keep it going. So, that's all I've been playing on Stadia at the moment, just getting stuck into that.
Oh, and I forgot to add as well, this is Lee's first time doing anything like podcasting related, so it's also kind of like a face reveal.
Yeah, so I'm like a sheep in the headlights. Oh, sorry, a rabbit in the headlights, isn't it? Not a sheep.
Yeah, so. I mean, we see you all the time in the comments section, and so we just knew we had to approach you and see if you wanted to join the team. So
yeah, much appreciated. Thank you very much.
That's all right.
It's a sheep if you're from Wales.
So, Adam, what have you been playing?
I've been playing the Turing Test. That's the only game I've really had any time to play. I managed to complete it, and I should be getting a review up for it this weekend. But otherwise, I haven't really had much time to myself to play games. I'm hoping to get some Football Manager done, because I still haven't bloody joined a league. It's starting to really annoy me with all these friendly matches that aren't making me any money. But that's about it for me.
And Ash, what have you been playing?
For me, it was MB yesterday with a bunch of you lot, which was quite fun. I forgot what I was going to say then. I can see the name in my head. I don't know why I've drawn a blank.
You've been playing with
PUBG.
Yourself, that's why.
No. PUBG. And I really want to get back into Red Dead to cause some havoc. We had a few games of Monopoly.
Yes, we did. To which you rage quit because I took all your money.
No, you didn't.
No,
because the computer stole my gun.
Yeah. So we suspended the game just temporarily, and we went back into it. But by the time Ash had accepted his invite to the game, the bot took over his character. Now, all the bot did was roll the dice, right? That's all he did. And he landed on one of my yellows, which I got like a hotel on or something. So therefore, Ashley owed me like 900 quid. And because he didn't roll the dice, even though it has no impact whatsoever,
it could.
It's purely random, even if he rolled it. Because the bot rolled it, he refused to play. How sad's that? So we played another match and he won, and I ended up rage quitting. So
So how sad is that?
Yeah, but I rage quit because I ran out of money. So
These are
At least I had a genuine reason.
Duncan, what have you guys? What have you and Kelly been playing?
guys. Me and
Well,
Kelly. So we're
Yeah,
just,
you tend to play together, don't you?
Oh yeah, we
You
have
tend
been
to play
playing-
with each other.
Oh yes, there we go. There's a keep your hands to yourself tonight, or tell people to keep their hands to themselves. As you can see in the background, that's the game we've been playing a hell of a lot of in Zombie Army. We're just loving playing that together. Also, I've been playing some Footy Manager. I'm doing a what's it again? I've got the name of the save. A manager. You don't know where you're starting. I'm current. I started unemployed, yeah, that's correct. And I ended up in Romania, second division. So I've got a Romanian second division side going at the moment with no money, wanting to finish last. I'm really enjoying that. And just went completely over your head there. Yeah, a journeyman. That's the word I'm looking for. A journeyman save on Football Manager. And what else have I been playing? We played Ember. Ember. We've got an interview coming up next week with the developer, so it's going to be interesting to have a wee talk with them. I'm not going to give my thoughts too much on it, but Ember's not bad. I don't think it's a great game. I don't think it's a poor game. It's just in the middle, sort of.
I had no idea what I was doing for most of it, so and then I found the grappling hook, and then I was all right. So.
I know it's a bit of fun. It's what I would call maybe a Stadia game, because Stadia seem to be focusing on the co-op games, and that's another co-op game, which will be stuck in your library, like Get Pack, which is common, which we're going to touch on, where you can just dig out when there's a couple of you and your mates around, or you're going to get some mates to play. So yeah, it's not a bad wee game. And what else have I been playing? I've been playing, I don't know, it's mainly me and Kelly have been in Zombie Army because we're loving the horde mode in that, and it's good crack.
What have I been playing?
What have you been playing? I don't have to respond to Andy in a wee second, but we're going to be coming to that.
I actually been playing the Turing test as well. Actually, I was kind of thinking I want a change of game. And I thought I'll give Turing Test a go, and it's very much like Portal, which we've said in a previous podcast as well. Yeah, it was just one of those games that you kind of think, oh, just one more puzzle, one more level before I turn it off. And I ended up playing it for a good hour and a half. So, and obviously the Monopoly, like we've talked about, me and Ash had a few rounds of PUBG last night. Other than that, that's all I've been playing really. So yeah. Did you want to say something to Andy there?
It's just what we're moving on to now, which is the Stadia Pro games. I will let everybody else go because I think I'm a bit slightly contrary to everybody else here. I'm really tempted because I always, when Andy gets that face on where he's like, looks like he's doing stuff, I always want to go to him first to see what his thoughts are because he's all concentrated on something else. But we will start with Peasant Boy himself. What we briefly talked about the pro games here. What was your take on it?
Thank you, Ireland. No, for me, the range of games are quite awesome. The fact that instead of just getting the 3 we normally get, we've almost tripled that to 6 if you count not Skyrim, but Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls.
That's the one. Which technically, while it is still free for us pro members, it isn't necessarily a pro game, a monthly pro game at least. And it's like I was saying to Duncan earlier, originally we were only meant to get 2 pro games a month, which they then upped it to 3, and now almost double that as well. But it's like you've got the games like Power Rangers, which they've been around for decades, huge fan base. A lot of people will like them. Like me, for one, I will play it no matter what. Did I say the wrong game?
No, don't worry.
No.
No one pays attention to you anyway.
Thanks. As well as that, the other big game that for me is also awesome for us to get is Super Hot. It's again, going back to what I said earlier, played it on Steam, played it on VR, which 10 times better on VR for obvious reasons. So I can't wait to be able to get it and play it on Stadia.
Okay, Adam, what's your take on the games here?
I'm really looking forward to trying Elder Scrolls Online, especially as my partner bought it for the PlayStation about a month ago and we've yet to touch it. So it's great that we're also getting it for free on Stadia. Power Rangers, no thanks.
Well,
in fact,
afraid I'm going to kick your ass on it.
I've just got to be honest, I don't think it's going to be my cup of tea, but I have been wrong about those sorts of things in the past, like Darksiders. I didn't expect to enjoy that, but I did.
Adam, just while you're thinking here, is this just for you to think when you're giving your thoughts? Are we going to get crossplay on Power Rangers from the get-go on Stadia like it is on the other platforms? What's your thought? Oh, I've just put you on the spot. I have to know.
My initial answer is I've got no idea. I've not played any of them. I didn't actually know that there were Power Rangers games. This is the first I've ever heard of there being Power Rangers games. I thought the whole thing died out when I was a kid. So this is a complete
Still
shock.
going strong.
The Rangers have been out since the 70s. They will never die.
So I don't know. In terms of the rest of the games, I think it's okay. But the biggest thing has got to be the Elder Scrolls.
Yay, someone else doesn't think it's a home run. So that's good. That's just giving you where I'm going with it. What would you prefer? Is it Lee or Sea Troot? What
Lee's fine, yeah.
Lee?
Yeah, I mean, it's getting more games. It's always good. It's not a bad lineup. Little Nightmares, not for me. I'm too much of a chicken to play scary games these days. Panzer Dragoon, I've never played the series. I've never touched them. So, yeah, that would be a new one for me to play. Super Hot looks good. Again, I've never played it. So, yeah. Get Pack's obviously it might be a sore point for some people because obviously some people would have bought into it at launch not too long ago. So they might be a bit upset that it's now coming as a pro game. And of course, Elder Scrolls is getting Elder Scrolls Online pro game on day one's it's amazing, isn't it, really, when you think about it? So I'll be getting stuck into that. Power Rangers, I actually did download Power Rangers recently on Xbox because it was on Game Pass, but I never played it. So, again...
Will you play it this time?
Yeah, I'll check it out on Stadia. Yeah, 100%. So I think overall it's a good lineup of games. I think Elder Scrolls is probably the main takeaway from it for myself personally.
Daniel?
So Power Rangers is the big one for me, just because, I mean, I've been a Power Rangers fan since I was a kid, and then I remember my brother kind of discovering it as well a few years after me. And I just bonded with him over Power Rangers as a kid as well. So I'm interested to try that one out. We need another good beat 'em up on Stadia as well, over the Mortal Kombat and Samurai Showdown. So absolutely that. Super Hot looks like it could be quite interesting as well. It's just another one of those quirky indie game type things that, you know what I mean? You think, oh, I've got nothing I really want to play today. What am I going to try? I know I'll try Super Hot. So, and like Lee said with Power Rangers, he's got it on Game Pass, but basically you don't have to download this. We've said it a billion times now. You don't have to download it. You don't have to have updates for it. You can just press claim and away you go. So even if you've got 5-10 minutes spare, you can easily just jump in and check it out. So Get Packed I've already got. We did a live stream with some of the developers as well, didn't we? So I will come back to you, Gavin, on that one. What was the other one? Elder Scrolls. Excited to check that one out. Never played Skyrim, but I have seen it been played, so I know what it's mainly all about. Can't wait to take an arrow to the knee. And what was the other one? Little Nightmares. Again, I'll try it out. It doesn't really look like my cup of tea. If I'm going to play a scary game, I want it to be shit scary. So I love my horror games. So, but we'll see. We might be wrong, like we've said. So, favorite Power Ranger has probably got to be obviously the White Ranger. I think it's most people's, if not the Green Ranger from the original Power Rangers.
Yeah, Green Ranger for me.
Had a crush on the Yellow Ranger from Dino Thunder, if that counts.
What about you, Ash?
It was all about Kimberly. But favourite Ranger in general was Red Ranger.
Adam is looking blank, so he will say...
Adam, just pick a colour. Just pick a colour.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's your favourite Ranger?
No Googling. No Googling.
White.
And that is me. I am 41, so Power Rangers were a bit after me. My take on the games, I think it was a B+ to A- sort of lineup. I don't think there's a lot of people saying this is a complete home run for Stadia. This is brilliant. I don't think it is. What was a mic drop moment? No, it's above average because we've got all these games, but there's no real, oh my god, this is brilliant. Elder Scrolls, which we're getting, yes, it's a good game. I'm going to be playing it when it comes. It's tenner on other platforms. We're not talking, it's not, oh my god. Could you argue that the PlayStations, has everybody seen the PlayStation Plus lineup for this month?
Yeah.
Yes, but I cannot remember it. In fact, it's trending on Twitter right now in front of me. Call of Duty and
Battle Star Wars.
2, Star Wars, yeah.
Could you make a case that's a better lineup than what Stadia has? You could.
They're higher quality games, other than
Well, you're getting
Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, but you've got the quantity on Stadia. So I'm just putting it out there. I don't think this is, oh my god, this is Stadia dropping the mic. This is Stadia pushing. I think it's really, really good that they've done this, but it's not massive news. Does anybody else?
Do you think this is why they held off the Little Nightmare announcement?
Yeah, but they could have announced this on Tuesday as well.
True.
And it would have saved people. We can touch on this as well because I think some people have been foul with this. Is the Get Packed? Get Packed is a reasonably new game, and it's not the Tomb Raider sort of situation, but you're nearly bordering onto that. If I bought Get Packed and Kelly bought Get Packed as well, and I'm not, oh my god, this is really disappointing, but it is a bit of an annoyance that you've bought it and it's now a pro game. I think we all thought it was going to become a pro game at some stage, but I wasn't expecting this soon. I was thinking maybe next month.
But then you could argue that, for example, yes, if you've bought this game already, then you've wasted your money, but you're getting 2 extra games, well, 3 if you think about it, extra games that you wouldn't have been getting otherwise on Stadia. So it's not all a lost cause.
No, it's definitely not a lost cause. If it was just Get Packed and say Panzer Dragoon and Elder Scrolls, yes, you would have a bigger thing to complain about. I'm just saying it's just a wee tint on this good news as well.
So do you think they've set a precedent for the amount of games? Because I know we kind of saw it go from the original 2 games up to 3, and then they've maintained that, and then now we're up to 5. Do you think that's going to be a sign of things to come, or do you think it's a one-off?
Does anybody want to ask? Off you go, Ash.
Yeah, for me, I think it is genuinely just a one-off. Otherwise, if they keep doing 5 games a month every month, then within a few months, then unless they do like a massive game drop, then there'll be no games to buy.
Yeah, here's what something I put in MM2K's podcast Stadia Dosage. Just a wee question for you. Does this mean, do you think this is meaning that we're going to get a load of games coming out next month? If they're dropping 5 games into Pro, is there actually going to be a lot of games actually coming out to actually buy as well? Are we just seeing the start of massive...
Personally, drop? I'm hoping so, yeah. Because I can imagine with the next Connect, that they'll do similar to what other console games have done in the past, where it's like, these games are coming to Stadia soon. They're out right now.
Yep. What do you think about shadow drops? Do you think shadow drops are a good thing or a bad thing in this current climate? If we have a Stadia Connect in 2 weeks and they drop, I'm trying to think of games at the top of my head here. Say the BioShock collection or something, do reasonably good games which would tempt you. Would you be annoyed that they just shadow dropped them in the middle of the month, which they're known for doing, or do you want a release schedule, or do you want a mix? We'll go with Adam.
I'd like an announcement for a start, because whilst not all of the games that are on Stadia are my cup of tea, take for example MotoGP. That was dropped on Connect, wasn't it? I'm sure there was a game that was dropped on Connect, but there was no announcement, and it still hasn't been announced. But I don't think I'm going to get that announcement. Guess I'll have to go cry in the corner. Anyway.
You're correct. It was MotoGP. They never announced that it was coming. They skipped that whole. No, it said it was coming, but they never actually announced that it was available to buy on Stadia.
Yeah. And whilst I'm not interested in MotoGP, there are people out there who like their motorbike games. And for example, BioShock, the collection. Absolutely love BioShock. It's in my top 5 games. And if they stealth drop that, for me, working with Stadia Source, obviously we keep an eye on these sort of things. But if I was just casually gaming and I missed that, I'd be rather upset. So no, I don't think stealth drops are ever a good idea. What
about you, AD? I'm sorry, just before you start, BioShock was just an example. It is not coming. We have no confirmation. I'm just putting that out there as like an example.
I think I sit on the fence with it, because I think it would be good for having game announcements, so people know what's coming. Because one of the criticisms that people have about Stadia is, it's not got any games. We're all tired of hearing it. So it'd be good for games to be announced, so they can say, well, it has got games, and games are coming. But at the same time, Stadia being, what's just past 6 months old, stealth drops games like the BioShock collection, gives the platform a huge boost. And it gets a bit of momentum. It gets people talking about Stadia. So that's why I sit on the fence. I think I would like a mix. I would like to see some games, planned out. But at the same time, I don't think the odd stealth drop here and there would do it any harm.
Dan?
See, I love a stealth drop, just because I hate waiting for things. So, I mean, if you're gonna have a release schedule, then at least obviously have dates other than coming soon, because we've had this argument before, and that is, you can't use the term coming soon if it's not actually coming soon. If it's going to be another 6 months, then that's not soon in my opinion. So I'd rather them just say, hey, guess what, this is a new game coming to Stadia and it's out now, just like they do with PUBG, because that to me is like, I mean, I remember when they used to do the E3 conferences for Xbox, and they did that quite often. They'd say, here's a game and it's available for you absolutely free now, and you can play it. So I love those type of things. I think it builds hype. Obviously it builds the game library, like Lee said as well. So I don't really see what the problem is with it, to be fair.
Ash?
Similar to Lee, I'm half and half with this one. Because while yes, it is good getting stealth drops because you get a few new games randomly. So obviously you get to build up your collection. Because you obviously don't know about it beforehand, the majority of people, they won't be able to get the games they want. They'll then have to wait even longer to then be able to buy them. Rather than, say, like Avengers coming out in September, I now have the time to be able to save up for that, ready to pay for it, rather than, here's Avengers, 3 Assassin's Creed, and BioShock, for example. But yeah, at the same time, similar to what Dan said, and I've said time and time again, that rather than just coming soon, we definitely need a date.
But then, actually, I have another point, if I may just interrupt.
No.
This is kind of contradicting to what I just said, actually, but it's less of a point and more of a question as well. So if anybody does want to pipe up, I'm not going to go around the table like we have been doing, but if, for example, BioShock was to come to Stadia and they said that it's going to be out in 2 months' time, right? Obviously, then, if anybody's sitting there saying, Stadia hasn't got any games, would you rather it be announced but be far further away or not know about it at all in terms of building hype, for example, for the game. Obviously, if we know it's coming, then even though it's not on Stadia yet, we've still got the argument that it is coming. Whereas if you don't know anything about it until the day, then you don't have that ammo, if you like, to fight against the naysayers. You get what I'm trying to go with that?
Yeah, exactly. It's what my feeling on the stealth drops is. It isn't even just during the connects. It's just like this week with the two games that came this week. Went out from my head here.
Jotun and Sundered.
They were stealth drops, basically. They just turned up 5 o'clock. We knew they were coming this week at some stage. I hate these where we're just waiting and every day.
Yeah, we knew they were coming.
We knew they were coming, but we knew the release schedule for people to plan for them. But all these games what we've got announced here. Imagine if we got Just Shapes and Beats, Gunsport, Lara Croft, the Temper of Osiris, and one of the Mafias just dropped randomly one day. No one has time to actually plan and get the money up for it.
But if they're free,
I have absolutely no problem if their stealth drops there, or if they make like a Game Pass system. See, Game Pass is perfect for stealth drops because you're already subscribing and you know you're going to get the games. But games just actually where you have to buy them, you need some sort, for more of this, you need some sort of schedule of when it's going to come, in my view. Stealth drops get people talking, but if they're smaller titles, yes. But imagine if Stadia could get a couple of big titles just going like that. Yeah, Wavebreak is another game there as well. We've got all these games coming, and then if they don't go into pro, I have a feeling that they may get lost because the situation where we're in at the moment with COVID-19, there's a lot of people they're counting their pennies every single week now, and they don't have the money just to drop on games coming. Does anybody else want to on Dan's point? Oh, I didn't even answer Dan's point. If say BioShock was announced at a Connect, if this was an Xbox, that would be like a perfect stealth drop for an Xbox. I'm going to contradict, but for Stadia, that's going to be one of their you would think a bigger title. So I would probably want a stealth drop, or not a semi-stealth drop. This is coming, and it's coming next week, or this is coming at the week or two, and give a proper time. It's just Stadia needs to get into times going forward.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, I do love a good stealth drop, but I can't argue with any of the points you guys have made. So,
we've talked about the. Did we talk about all the pro games? Oh, you did talk about all the pro games.
Yeah, I think we've spoken about most of them, kind of, haven't we? So,
yeah, no worries. The next thing we can talk about here is tomorrow. There is going to be a Baldurs Gate free scissor reel. How do we feel about this? Do we think we might actually get like a release date or a tease of a release date during it? Dan, we'll start with you there.
Ask Chase.
I think Chase is a bit too occupied at the moment. I think he needs to calm down.
What, the 40 odd terabytes of internet are you talking about? Yeah. I don't think we're going to get a release date. I think dust needs to settle on today's announcement. Well, mind you, it's not even Stadia that's announcing it, is it? So it's entirely possible, but I just have this gut feeling that we're not going to get one just yet.
Okay. And just adding into this, remember, next week as well, we're going to probably get some gameplay footage as well, because they are doing part of that. Sorry, which one is it? It's the collective one. The collect. Who makes Horizon Zero Dawn?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah. Guerrilla.
Guerrilla Games. Yeah.
Yep. And the reason why I'm asking that is because it's the Guerrilla Collective. I remember they are doing their thing next week. It's the end of next week, and they're going to be mentioned in it. So there's going to be Baldur's Gate 3 things like that. Ash, what about you?
See, Baldur's Gate, that's just one that's never interested me at all. But obviously with the scissor reel, it could just be, like I said, game footage, but there is obviously the chance that they may drop at least a date of when it could come to Stadia.
Okay, Adam?
I gotta be honest, I don't actually know what the phrase sizzle reel actually means, but I'm assuming they're gonna drop some more video tomorrow. And no, I don't think there's gonna be a release date. It's too soon. It was only not long ago that they announced that we're getting an early access. I don't think we're getting a release date tomorrow.
Lee?
Yeah, I don't think we'll get a release date. I think if we get anything like that, it'll be a tease that we'll see more at a Connect. At the next Stadia Connect, they might say, there'll be more of that. But yeah, I don't think we'll see a release date just yet. I don't think.
I think we're going to get some images and some stuff like that. And I think they might just build it into next week to get that going. Next thing I want to talk about is we had an interview this week, which Adam organised, and it's with talking about one of his favourite games. And I'm not actually being facetious. It is. He really enjoys this game. It is a game you either love or you hate, and it is. And it is farming simulator. So. And other people will be falling asleep at this part, but I think it was actually quite interesting, the details he got out about how the game is ported to Stadia and what things they had.
Adam.
So, Adam, do you want to give us a wee quick rundown of the interview, if that is okay? Have you got it up in your screen there?
Yeah, I've got it up. I'm not going to read it word for word. I'll let you guys do that. I shall drop the link into the YouTube video if I can find the YouTube video. There we go. Right. Okay. Sorry about that. Rather, let me post that.
Ding, 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 ding.
I'll
ding,
post
ding,
it, don't
ding,
worry.
Ding, 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 ding.
One of the main things that I wanted to do was I wanted to know, because Farming Simulator was on Stadia at launch, I wanted to know how they felt Stadia's launch was. Because a lot of the internet seemed to think it was a bit less than perfect and could have been worked on quite a bit more. Anyway, so I was asking them questions about the development and how they feel towards Stadia specifically. And I also asked them what I felt was the most important question, which was what their favorite crop was. For me, it's sunflowers, but for them it's cotton. Anyway,
Breaking news.
I'm not going to bore you with that, but just to give you a rough idea of some of the stuff we discussed. So I asked them how COVID-19 has affected Giant Software, and they said that they've had to work from home and they've had to cancel some events, and they were planning an office in Chicago, which has had to be halted because of the lockdown and travel bans, and some other stuff about like how they decide what equipment gets added to the game. So if you're interested in Farming Simulator, and I think it's a love it or you're not very good at it game.
Controversial hot take. That's what I like to hear.
But yeah, if you're interested in Farming Simulator, you should definitely check it out. And don't forget, they've got a new DLC that's been announced for next month as well. So that will probably be something I'm looking forward to whilst everyone else is playing Elder Scrolls.
Adam, this isn't me being facetious. This is just me being just asking it straight here. Would that be your favorite game since Stadia has launched, or is this your favorite game on Stadia?
I would say it's the game that I keep coming back to. It's my favorite. I'm just waiting for Skyrim or Euro Truck Simulator, and then they can be my favorite.
Lee, are you a fan of Farming Sim?
I tried it. It wasn't for me. No. But yes, I think that probably was because I wasn't very good at it, and I had absolutely no real idea what was going on.
What's been your favorite game and moments during Stadia over the last 6 months? Because I don't think we've actually done this together as the whole table. Your favorite thing in Stadia over the 6 months and and the game. Kelly's dying in Zombie Army.
My favorite game is definitely AC Odyssey, 100%, because that is I've put a lot of time into it. And it's just got me hooked. Favorite thing on Stadia or about Stadia. I think it still amazes me to this day when I'm playing some of these games that they're being streamed from a Google data center. I still think that's just amazing, absolutely amazing. And I think it's one of the things that people, when they're criticizing Stadia, they don't really appreciate it enough. And just like how convenient it is. I can go from here in my little gaming area here. I can be playing a game, and then if I want to go through to the big TV in the living room and just stretch out on the sofa and continue playing, I can do that in less than like a minute. And I just think, I just think that's amazing.
So, what are you looking forward to going forward here in Stadia?
New features. It's always good seeing new features being added. There's things that I think need expanded on. I think simple things like seeing achievement lists while you're on the Chromecast Ultra, while you're playing on your phone. I think. Simple things like that. And of course, it's always good to see more games. I want to see some exclusive games from the studios that Google have now got up and running. I want to see what they're working on, because I think those are the games that are really going to make you stand up and think, okay, Stadia is the real deal. They're going to show it off, show what it's capable of, and push it to the max.
So what game are you looking forward to, which has been announced?
At the moment, I really want Mafia 2. I'm a big fan of the Mafia 2. I played it on Xbox 360. I took that copy to the game shop and traded it right in for a copy on the PS3 and played it again. So I'm really looking forward to that dropping. Elder Scrolls Online as well. I like a good MMO. I picked that up on the Xbox recently and got into it a little bit. So now that I know it's coming to Stadia, I'm going to cool that and just wait for the Stadia version. And
the best thing about the Elder Scrolls Online, we're definitely we're going to have a population because it's cross platform, which is
carry on.
I was just finishing just saying because it's crossplay, and that was it. So you work away there.
I was going to say, obviously, you've spoken about the games of Stadia, but in terms of like the features that we've got coming up to Stadia, things like state share and crossplay and all. I'm thinking of complete random things here. Yeah, you're not.
The features coming, the crossplay, not crossplay. Crowd play,
that's what I was trying to say. Crowd play, state share, streaming.
Crowd choice.
Are you excited for any of them features, or?
Yeah, I mean, crowd choice was, I think it was something tried similar in the Telltale games before. Did they not do like a crowd choice or something if you were playing?
There have been games that
could make the choices for you. So yeah, I mean, that would be quite good. I think it'd be quite fun if you're, streaming games, and you can let people do that for you. The feature I would love to see used more is Stream Connect. I think that's absolutely a great feature. Doing that and when you're playing the Division, and that's working. That's absolutely amazing. So I would love to see that used in more games going forward as well.
Okay, Dan.
What am I looking forward to? YouTube streaming. I just want to see kind of like how they're going to give you a link to your stream so that you can embed it into like Stream Labs or OBS or something like that. Put your own overlays to it as well. Or just for those that want to stream that don't have expensive streaming setup. All you need is your headset and your game. So that's probably going to be my biggest one.
Yeah, that's going to be something to look forward to if and when they decide to wake up and do it.
I don't see why they can't just do it now. Surely it's just a video feed. I know they want to put some bells and whistles on it, but just give us the feed for the video. Surely it's just a link. So
yeah, the thing is, the launch Stadia minimal final viable product. I just want to say so I can say MVP from now on. This is nice, so I don't have to say the thing. But why can't it just launch out in MVP mode? It's just to get it out there so people can do it. Peasant boy, are you awake?
Yes. God. I have to say with Stream Connect, I'm still not 100% with that, just because of the way that certain games use it, like how the Division do it. That way is perfect. Whereas games like The Crew 2, I hate that where it takes up like a half to a quarter of your screen and reduces your vision by quite a lot. It's like a while ago we were playing The Crew 2, and I think it was Dan or one of the other guys that we were playing with wanted to use it. So I was just there like, you can, but no, because at the moment I don't have the biggest screen. So for me, it just reduced that heavily, and to the point that I'd rather not play. I don't currently have a favourite game, as most of the games that I have played with Stadia, I've played elsewhere in the past. But for sure, I am looking forward to Avengers and Star Wars. We're going to say something?
No, I was just letting you talk. I just hit the button by accident. You talk away because you don't do enough talking.
I try.
You are very trying. Yes, you are.
Yes. But yeah, I'm to be honest, I'm just excited to what the potential is with Stadia. It's like back when it was first announced, I was amazed for the fact that you can play it on pretty much any device, anywhere that you are, as long as you've got a data connection. Obviously, instantly go switch from your phone to a computer or to whatever. Which on a previous job, I was traveling a lot, so I was either staying at hotels or Airbnbs and stuff like that. So for me, that's a huge deal because I did used to have in my rucksack all my clothes and everything that I needed, as well as a chunky Xbox One.
Good. The most shocking thing about that is you said you had clothes on, because I'm
in the back.
Naked there.
Yeah, I got around naked. All the clothes go in the back.
See, did you hear that? He runs about naked all the place.
He's probably done every single podcast he's ever on naked. For all we know.
Probably.
Stop watching me. But yeah, the convenience of that is just amazing for me. And like I said, the potential of where Stadia is heading in the future. So.
You've muted yourself.
Yes, I know. I was looking at something else, sir. I was just going to say to Ash, I didn't know they came in micro size before, but there we go. Oh my God, what's wrong now?
You carry on.
Carry on. For me, what I'm looking forward to in Stadia is just seeing where all this goes. The project
Chimera.
There we go. And the semantic ML, I think it's just going to be absolutely nuts. And I think that's going to be something that Stadia keep for themselves going forward. So we're going to see lots of games make use of that. Also, one thing, I've been on record with this before, creator, whatever it's pretty well called, is either going to be a superstar hit or it's going to be forgotten right in a couple of months. But that is something to keep an eye on. But the more I hear and see of it, I think it's got massive potential. And they're being so tight-lipped over the features. It looks like it's going to be coming with some Stadia-only features. And I have to assume that's going to be state share, so you can just drop that into a YouTube video so people can play that game or that level going forward. So if you haven't, check out Eddie's stream earlier today with the creator developers. There's some really, really interesting stuff there floating about. And the way that we're talking, it sounded it was going to be this month, but I think it's coming. Shadow Drop, which we were talking about, Stealth Drop. Next Stadia Connect. But the good thing about that, it's going to be a pro game, so you're going to be able to play that anyway. You don't have to pay for it. And I'm just really wanting to get all these features rolled out, because that's when Stadia is going to take off. And I've said it before, any of the roguelikes are going to thrive on Stadia going forward, like Slay the Spire or Monster Train, which I've just picked up over the last couple of days, which we don't mention because it's on Steam. I've just picked that up. That's really, really fun as well, and that would be brilliant on Stadia if they get controller support. The next thing we will talk about here, we also know on June 24th, we're going to get some Avengers news. Who's looking forward to Avengers? I can see the nod in there. Off you go.
I think I was one of the few people that actually enjoyed the first gameplay we saw of the game. I thought it looked really good, and I'm a big Marvel fan and Avengers fan. So I'm the person that goes to the cinema at midnight for the new releases. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And it's great. It's great. It's coming to Stadia. So
I watched the Infinity War before the end game came out.
Yeah.
So you end up literally having like a half an hour gap between the two to have a piss and
I did the same. Yeah. So
on to the next one.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing that on June 24th.
My only beef with it really is the characters don't look like the characters from the film. But definitely, I'm excited to pick up that game. Fly around as like Iron Man, for example. It just looks. I'm hoping there's a large open sourceness to it as well.
Yeah, what I like about it as well, it's another Stadia game, as in it's another pushing the co-op. Like I said, most of the Stadia games coming out is co-op or something along them lines. Kelly is not doing well in Zombie Army, as you can hear in the background. Oh, the cheeks are puffing. So it's another one of them games where it's co-op. Adam, should I go on? Are you ready to answer here, or should I go on to Peasant?
You can ask me, but I'm not interested in Avengers. I'm not interested in any of the superhero things.
What is wrong with you?
Okay, Peasant boy.
Well, hang on. If Captain America was driving a combine harvester, would you then be interested?
Maybe in the combine harvester.
Okay.
Okay, Ash.
Similar to Lee, I'm quite excited for this game. Loved all the movies apart from one. Even the previous two Hulk movies, I did like those. But even then, I just love the way that they're using this story, the range of characters that you're going to be able to play. From what I remember as well, there are a lot more characters you can play as, just they've not fully been announced yet. And it's, again, the only slight issue that I have with it at the moment is more of the Stadia side, which is that every other version of the game going to console or Steam or wherever is, if you pre-order, you get these bonuses. Will we still miss out on that, or is it going to be like other packs we've had in the past where if we buy the deluxe version, we still get the deluxe items?
It could be like what they're doing with the Elder Scrolls. I'm not sure if anybody picked up on this. I've literally just seen it there now, so Dan, don't shout at me. And if you buy it in the first couple of days, you get extra feature, or you get extra things if you buy in the first couple of days instead of if you buy the Grey Mirror or something, the new expansion. If you buy it in the first couple of days, you get the pre-order bonuses. So maybe that's what they're going to do with the Avengers.
I hope so.
Okay. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
So I was just trying to pick something out of my keyboard.
Yeah. Just trying to think what else we can talk about here tonight, because I'm not sure if Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath. Yes, thank you for that, Daniel.
And there's one more thing after this as well.
Oh, cool. Mortal Kombat Aftermath came out. It's a big, massive expansion to Mortal Kombat 11. It is adding in a new story mode. It's adding in some more characters and background, I think new levels and whatnot. So it seems to be getting pretty good reviews out there. We haven't got our one done yet because I'm not sure how many Mortal Kombat fans there are in the team at the moment.
I like Mortal Kombat, but I've neglected to buy this one just out of the fact that I haven't really got time to play it amongst the other games I'm wanting to play at the moment. So, but big fan of like the fact that they've added RoboCop in it, and obviously Terminator from the previous update as well. I will get round to playing it eventually. So,
I do want to pick this up, but I don't want to pay full price for it. If that makes
yeah.
It's not, oh my god, I must have it. It's a game. I like Mortal Kombat. I used to play it a lot. I'm going to show my age here, if you bear with me. I played Mortal Kombat in the arcade many moons ago when it was just first released, alongside Street Fighter 2. So I'm really, really old. And I spent so much money playing that. And I actually worked out a couple of fatalities, which I was really proud of at the time. But we talk about it was just easy to do Kag one. You just spin it around with the thing. I can remember it still playing in the arcade. So yeah, I do want to pick this up when it's at a good price, where it's in £20 mode. That's my ballpark for it. What about you, Lee?
You're Mortal Kombat fan, Lee?
No, it's not been a series I've ever really got into, to be honest. I do think it's really cool, though, that they brought RoboCop in, and it's Peter Weller, who was the original RoboCop, is actually doing the voice work for it, or did the voice work for it. I think that's because I was, a big fan of the original RoboCop movie, so I think that's a really cool, really good touch. But I don't think it's something I would buy. I would try it if it came as a pro game.
Are you a fan of beat 'em ups in general, or?
No, I can't say. Honestly, I have been. No. When I was younger, like a lot younger, yeah, I enjoyed a good beat 'em up. But no, it's not a genre that I tend to enjoy these days.
I just I'm praying Tekken comes to Stadia, because I'm gonna whoop so many asses when that game comes out.
Sorry, yeah, I'm just double checking that Rigor's comment there, and I know it's full cross play on other platforms, but I'm just not 100% sure if it's Stadia. So if you've seen that somewhere, just tell me where it is. But I know it's other ones. I haven't seen anything confirming it for Stadia at this present moment in time. Ash and Adam, do either of you want to talk about Mortal Kombat? Mortal Kombat, I think, is right up Adam's street, and he is an expert at it, and he has completed all of them. Go away, Duncan, you absolute gobshite.
Oh, I don't have to unmute the mic. No, I'm not into beat 'em ups. I still haven't tried the Samurai Showdown that I got for free with my Founders Edition. I generally have never booted it up, so no, you're asking the wrong person, I'm afraid.
I'm just trying.
You've played Mortal Kombat before, haven't you?
I think it's more of Tekken I've played in the past, but I'm not a huge fan of either Tekken or Mortal Kombat. I don't mind beat 'em ups. I played them in the past and enjoyed them. But for me itself, I'm just not a huge fan of the Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Rigor. I don't know if you've posted that link into the chat. I think links get removed from the chat, so you may have to ping it to Duncan on Twitter or something, or we'll take a look at that if we've got time. Oh, it says look at the Battle for the Grid Twitter, so I'm guessing the Power Rangers one.
Yeah, I'm just going to look now.
Whilst you guys are looking for that, then I'll bring up the next topic, and we can kind of come back to that if and when you find it. So, IGN Summer of Gaming has the lineup for that has been revealed, and from from June the 4th until the 24th, we've got basically content happening pretty much every single day.
And just Rigor, 100% right. They have posted it. Yep, full crossplay. We thought it was going to be that, but I was just waiting for the official confirmation. But yeah, there it is. I just missed that because I'm a Moonbeam.
So I'm just going to share my screen with you guys here. So this is the article at Stadia Source that we've got. And as you can see, it's running from June the 4th to the 24th. We're going to see a lot more of games that they won't necessarily be running on Stadia on the day. I'm just going to remove that so I'm not covering Lee's face. Obviously they might not be playing on Stadia when you see them, but games such as Destroy All Humans, Mafia Definitive Edition, we're going to see some more of the Borderlands 3 content, which is the Bounty of Blood DLC. And if we scroll down the list here, I'm hoping all you guys can see it. Let me just see if I can make it bigger for you. So basically, anything that's kind of got
your porn, Sean.
No, it's not. So basically, anything with a pink tinge is a developer that's already got something on Stadia, and anything with a yellow is something that is a developer that has the potential to have something on Stadia or has been confirmed to be working with Stadia, but we don't know what that is quite yet. So obviously Bandai Namco, we've spoken about that, 2K, your Borderlands and your NBA. Blizzard, Activision Blizzard partnership was arranged as well, so we may see something from them. CD Projekt Red, of course, we've got Cyberpunk, Deep Silver. I can't exactly remember what game they put out.
Metroid.
Well, I was thinking more Stadia games anyway, but so obviously Google Stadia themselves will be making an appearance as well, as you can see there. So
the thing about the Stadia one, or I probably interrupted you here before you were going to say
for it.
Is they haven't confirmed what they are doing. It is in the small print along with other people. So that, for me, indicates it's going to be a Stadia Connect.
Yeah, I've seen some rumors about that as well, that could be that. So, but the fact that their name was on the list is all I needed to see to be happy that this is happening. So, obviously, Sega, we got the announcement the other day as well that Sega have put out job adverts for people to port older games from the Sega library to Stadia, and obviously work on new IPs for Stadia as well. I think Brian from Club Stadia did a brilliant video, which I made a guest appearance on as well, talking about some of the games from Sega's history that we'd like to see on Stadia as well, like your Sonic the Hedgehogs, the Jet Set Radio Futures, and games such as that. So maybe we might see something from Sega on the front of Stadia there. Who knows? But and obviously Ubisoft, the biggest supporter of Stadia so far in terms of development studios. So you can check the full schedule this link here as well, which will tell you exactly what's happening on which day and which times as well. So yeah, definitely excited about this one. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, Adam, someone's killed Adam.
Adam is sweating to death.
I'm just double checking something here. If you want to come back to me in 1 wee sec.
For me, I think the biggest news personally for me would be for the why do I keep going blank on my mind? The CD Projekt stuff for 2077 Cyberpunk. That's it. Obviously, an amazing looking game as well. From what we know, the story is going to be amazing. From what I remember, there are online aspects for it as well. But it's just one that I cannot wait for. So just to be able to see more footage of that would be amazing for me.
Yeah,
You got any expectations?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good names in there. I would love to see, Blizzard Activision, to see if they're actually going to come on board with Stadia. I think they're sort of one of the big developers left that people are hoping decide to get on board. yeah, CD Projekt Red. I mean, Cyberpunk looks absolutely amazing. Of course, there's the Witcher 3. Could the Witcher 3 possibly come to Stadia at some point? If they're going to bring, I mean, we know they're going to do another Witcher game once they're finished with Cyberpunk. So could that possibly make its way over?
Hope they'll toss a coin to Stadia.
EA. I mean, we know. I think was it 5 EA games they said were coming to Stadia this year, and 2 we don't know about yet. So, and I know, of course, I think it's June 11th. EA have got an EA Play event, and I know there's one game that's probably going to be announced there that I'm really looking forward to. A well-loved trilogy that's making a return. So,
and of course, we've got Madden and FIFA as well.
Yeah, Madden, FIFA. I'm a fan of FIFA, so I'll be getting that on Stadia for sure. I think the summer gaming event is quite a good idea. I mean, it's obviously COVID-19 affected E3, affected Gamescom, and these shows always have big conferences at them. So I think it's a really good idea, and it's a good thing they're doing. It gives you something, gamers something a little to look forward to. It's a lot of announcements coming, and I think we're going to see some good stuff over the next few months.
Yeah, I think the interesting one here is Sega. Out from all of them, I'm not sure if everybody else has seen the Sega news, which has been doing the rounds. Sega are making some sort of announcement next week, and by the wording is very interesting from the journalist. He says this is going to be it will rile up the gaming industry. The announcement. And he put it on the level of Wired breaking the PlayStation 5 news. So that is the one I have got my eye on for next week and going into this. So is anybody any thoughts on that? What about you?
Mega Drive 2.
Mega Drive 2. What's
your favorite games in 16-bit? I have thoughts as to what's happened, but I'm kind of reserving judgment until I see or hear more. I'd like to think it's got something to do with Stadia, but that's just wishful thinking. I think Sonic the Screwdriver. I'm just reading some of the chats there. So I don't know. If you try and think of something that's going to rile the industry up at the moment, I think cloud gaming has been the biggest threat to some of the industry. So it leads me to think it is something to do with cloud gaming. If they were to release a new console, which is a far-fetched thing to think about, but it's entirely possible, a return for them to the console market, I don't think they've got the guns big enough to take on like the Microsoft and the Sonys and even the Stadia. I know it's still in its infancy, but you got to think Stadia, Google have got a lot of clout behind them, money-wise and impact-wise as well. So, what are your guys' thoughts?
I just want to say hello, Harry. We're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog here and how it might come to Stadia. And with that, I think Stadia is up there with it. And also Tencent would be a good shout, which Chase came up with. And Epic Games. I think they're the three big ones who would rile up the internet in a big way if they got them. I've said this for a while, even before Stadia was a thing. Microsoft and Sega are a match made in heaven because of the two different things with the PC side and the console side, and that would boost up their library if there was some sort of agreement with them. I don't know. It could be anything. If it was an acquisition, you would probably have heard about it now, wouldn't you? You would have heard the whispers, and the only whispers you hear about the acquisition is actually with Microsoft. Amazon could be the wild card as well. If you think about it, if we're going to go down the cloud computer route, because buying Sega, you're buying all them years worth of IP, and IP is what sells. And you just look at Streets of Rage 4, which has just came back. There was no Streets of Rage for about 20 years, and it's came back, and I'm not saying it's done gangbusters, but I think it's well got its money back and made a hell of a lot of money for them. Does anybody else want to jump in there?
I think the rumor with Microsoft's been going around for a while, isn't it? Microsoft, possibly buying Sega. I think an interesting thing as well. I think I saw earlier Sega have pulled all their games from GeForce Now, haven't they?
Yeah, I read that. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
they
know,
have.
could that be something they've maybe got some sort of deal with another cloud-based company, or if they have been bought over by someone that they've said, right, well, we want the games off of GeForce Now, sort of thing. So yeah, no, it'd be interesting to see for sure what's going to be announced.
See, my Sega prediction is the fact that they're getting rid of everything and going back to slot machines.
Okay. Well, ask your opinion.
But just to go on with what Lee just said about the GeForce Now thing, that with them putting the games, it could be, like you said, them teaming up with another company and no one's not on that platform. But we have seen in the past where companies have just withdrawn from GeForce Now due to either the contract or the offer or whatever it is that they've then disagreed with and then wanted to move on from there. So it's an either-or kind of thing with that.
Okay.
See, Stadia, with the hate that Stadia gets in the wider community at the moment, I think if Sega were to partner with Stadia in some way, that would ruffle some feathers. Just because you saw how much Serious Sam 4 coming to Stadia first ruffled feathers in the community. So if you can imagine that with Sega's IPs as well, especially new ones coming up as well. So there's every chance.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see where it goes. Also in the news recently was the Take-Two thing where they've got, 90-something games in development, which are already coming over the next couple of years. I think Adam wants to talk about this.
Yeah, so one thing I noticed, by the way, you mentioned that I'm sweating. I have a really good reason for it. It is hot in this room.
Open a window.
The window is open. The fan is on.
I've turned off my fan. I think this room would be about that as well. It's absolutely sweltering in here.
So getting back onto Take-Two, on the IGN, I've forgotten the name of the Summer of Gaming. That's it, Summer of Gaming. I remembered over half of it, so I'm pleased with myself. We don't see Take-Two there. Now, Take-Two own 2K and they own Rockstar. And so I guess we could see some of the games being more like NBA, I believe, 2K and NBA, and games like that. But what I want to know is if we've got many Rockstar games coming. And also, why is Take-Two and Rockstar not appearing in this IGN, do you reckon? Do you think they literally have nothing coming for us for a good few years? Because they could always port some of the older games. They remastered L.A. Noire last year, I think it was. That'd be a good game to get on Stadia.
I think they're being tight-lipped just because of like the likes of like the next GTA and stuff like that.
See, that's what I'm thinking as well, because we've heard rumours of obviously the next GTA as well as a Bully 2 coming out. To then have their resources go from that to also, I know it won't be a huge amount of resources in comparison to those games, but then to then splinter off a part of the team to then either remaster or remake another game to then work for Stadia while they're making 2 brand new games, I think that may be a bit much for them. And my thought for them not appearing is a mix between the fact that they may have nothing to fully show yet because they're still in the works with it, or they just want to keep it a secret for as long as possible.
Lee, have you got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think I just follow the same. I think with GTA 6 and possibly a Bully 2, I don't think they're in much of a rush to show all their cards at this point in time. They don't need to. GTA 5 is still a massive thing for them. With GTA Online as well, it's still a huge thing for them. So I think Rockstar will just take their time and they'll drop that news when on their own time when they're good and ready. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my thing about it is, GTA 6 is coming. Everybody knows it's coming. It's just a matter of when it's coming. I don't think we're going to get it in the next year or two. There's me putting my grapefruits on the line again. There's my bold prediction. It's not really that bold, this one, because they wouldn't want to do it this year or next year because the new consoles will only be out for a year and the install base isn't there, so they won't get their money back. They will eventually get the money back and they'll make an absolute killing, but they probably just wanted to wait till the install base is built up a bit. The good thing in regards to Stadia is they are fully on board with Stadia. We can see that, so I think I'm not going to say every single game is going to come to Stadia, but I think most of them are probably going to get away. And I wouldn't be that surprised if a number of these games are ports which are coming to Stadia. Like we've mentioned Bioshock Collection, that could be counted as free games like from that thing, if you're going to be facetious, and I'm keep on using that word tonight, and I have to knock it in the head. I hate using words like that. But yeah, there's just so many things out there.
Just to quickly butt in with what Duncan just said about the potential of, obviously not every game could come to Stadia, is if you look at the history of Rockstar, you had GTA 5, which I think took 2 or 3 years to then be able to be ported across to PC. Red Dead as well, that didn't come out with that didn't come out for PC and console at the same time. I think that was like another 6 months to a year later that it then moved across. So that could be a potential for Stadia as well, where it takes a little bit longer.
Yeah,
I think we would think that it would take a bit longer because the reason Rockstar gave for the game having a delay is because they wanted to make sure that the best possible version was available for PC, and I'm fairly certain that's a direct quote. So they wanted it to be that PC could have the 4K textures and the anti-aliasing, all of that jazz. I haven't been a PC gamer for a while, so I've forgotten what all the settings are called. But they wanted to be able to offer the best experience, and it's the same with Red Dead. Because when Red Dead released for PC, there wasn't a graphics card that's been released that can run that game on ultra with the max settings on at 60 FPS, and I still don't think there is a graphics card that can do that. And I hope that if it is delayed for Stadia, it's for that exact reason, that they want to give us the best version that they can.
Very good thoughts.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think this is probably a good time to wrap this up for tonight.
Yeah, so before we do that, though, obviously, I want to do a big shout out to
me. Yes, I am awesome. Thank you very much.
Kick him out.
To our patrons. Just that wasn't me.
Lies, it was you.
Not intentionally. So yeah, just a big shout out to our patrons. We've had a few more recently as well. So I'm just going to kind of scroll through everyone here so you can see your names. Big.
That is a mighty big ginger beard.
I know, put mine to shame. But yeah, you guys are absolutely awesome, and we appreciate every single one of your contributions as well. No bronze one yet. I thought, yeah, actually, we do have a bronze one, but he's not a part of Stadia Source, as far as I'm aware. So obviously, these link to your actual accounts on Stadia Source. So yeah, absolutely brilliant that you guys want to support us. And if anybody out there wants to support us, you can find the link to our Patreon at the bottom of Stadia Source there. And just another big shout out to Rock, just because it's come on stream as well, for hosting our website as well. Check out Rock Hosting if you're looking to host your own web project or website. So big thank you to you.
I want to say thank you for everybody for that as well. It really does help with the site and everything going forward, because any money which is getting put into Stadia Source or you put into Stadia Source is actually going back into Stadia Source to help improve things going forward. So thank you all for that. And Dan, what's the actual perks for if you become a patron of Stadia Source?
Well, depends obviously what level you sign up at, but there's such perks as members only Discord, ad-free browsing of the website, There's chances to join us in like podcasts or gaming sessions. You can play along with us. We can live stream it, or we can play it in private. It's absolutely up to you. And we've kind of been working in the background on sorting merch out for everyone as well. We still haven't managed to ship much of that out. I think I've got one here actually, which is going to be sending out. But there's a T-shirt. We're going to be sending different things out. You can have T-shirts, hats, cups, whatever, you name it. So obviously the highest tier will get one free piece of merch guaranteed, and then we may do more in the future. We'll see. So
and every penny helps. So, but if you don't have it, don't be worrying. This is only if you have it and you want to have.
It's entirely optional. Yeah. All of our content on Stadia Source will always be free. This is just a little bit of an incentive, an added incentive if you choose to. If you don't have the money or you don't want to spend money, you can obviously help us by just like sharing things on Twitter and Facebook, giving us a thumbs up and subscribing and all that jazz. You know the usual stuff. So.
And remember, the golden rule is you don't follow. Sorry, you've got too many accounts now. You don't follow Stadia, Arcadia, and you do not follow Tommy Danger. You just avoid him like the plague.
So I believe.
Can I just do one wee? Dave, absolutely outstanding. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So I'll get in contact with you shortly about your perks. So.
Since Lee's just joined us, Lee, do you want to pimp yourself there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on Twitter at Reidzer, REIDZER. You can follow me on there, and I'm quite a regular on there. I share a lot of my thoughts, some good, some bad. Feel free to follow me on there. And I'm just looking forward to getting, obviously, started on the site, getting some articles going. And as I said to you guys, thank you for letting me join the team.
No problem.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Mr. Penguin?
So as always, follow me on Twitter if you want. I mean, it's your decision.
Do it. Otherwise, it'll kick you in the face.
Oh my god. Okay, I am on Twitter. My Twitter is Original Penguin. And also add me on Stadia. When I get a chance to play games, I'm always up for playing Farming Simulator with anyone, and no one wants to bloody play it. So add me on Stadia.
Please, someone add him and play Farming Sim with him.
As expected, this is some breaking news. As expected, the NFL and EA have extended their video game agreement for 5 years at $1.5 billion. Madden has been blah blah blah. I'm just reading this here. This is just for realistic football simulators. No, it's not football, but that's hand egg. Sorry, this deal is for realistic hand egg simulators. 2K is also in the process of making any NFL license game, but this will be non-sports sims offerings. So there are some breaking news, it was expected. It was sort of leaked out beforehand. So sorry about that. Peasant Boy.
What the hell was that noise?
It's that cupboard door. Sounds like a dying giraffe.
So just two quick things. Firstly is for Rock, that while we currently don't have a Stadia Source ball of wool, if we do Stadia Source cheese, I will buy some for myself. And secondly, follow me as Lord Moore on Twitter.
My missus just said, how do you know what a dying giraffe sounds like?
Dana, I will say this out loud, just in case anybody else. I have just got a request of someone who wants to buy a Stadia Source T-shirt, so I think we need to look at getting a store.
You can tell him it's a 13-year-old boy that wants to buy
Yep. So we're getting requests for T-shirts, so I think we may have to look at a store here or something. So where can we find your good self? If you want to say anything about the store.
Yeah, I think there is some sort of like storefront over at Streamlabs as well. There's also we've also got a Spreadshirt store as well, which I kind of need to do a few things in the background to get that running. You can actually order some things from us at the moment, but as far as I'm aware, they don't ship to the US at the moment. So hence we're looking at a different option. But if you live anywhere else, pretty much check out Spreadshirt as well and just search for Stadia Source. So you can find me on Twitter at _X2I_. So similar to my name, just down below, wherever it is. And obviously on stadiasource.com as well. So
Okay, thank you very much. And you can find me, Mr. Controversial, at One to Escape on Twitter. Everybody loves me so much, very much, and I don't come off with random controversial stuff all the time. And with my bad takes, Dan, do you want to close us out here?
Yep. So goodbye, everyone, and thanks for joining us this evening, and we'll see you on that next one.
Farewell, peasant.